There are two ways by which you can obtain our measurements. Either measurements by obtained by the direct figure. That's when you have your particular figure, the person you want to measure, and you are taking the direct measurements on the person, or measurements by calculation. You discover that, for instance, somebody is in Abuja and you're in Lagos and you want to make a dress for that person, and you need the person's measurements. You seeing the person, or by calculation, you see the person and you feel like, okay, this bust should be size 8, or this bust should be within the range of, let's say, 36 to 40, and like, okay, by the time you take the person's measurements, it is going to be the exact thing that you calculated. Or you feel this hip measurement should be 42, and then at the end of the day, after making the dress, your guess was as good as perfect. So it is either you take your measurements by direct figure or by calculation. And there's another thing that is very, very important while taking measurements. You don't need to take too much measurements. You don't need too many measurements. Yes, because it's you might be confused. When you have more than enough measurements, like you have you measure center fronts, you have from hair to eyes, from eyes to nose, from nose to mouth, the distance between this, and you get confused. So just take the few points, the few measurements that you know that they are important and useful for you. Then there are some factors that affects your measurement taking. We need to consider the first one, like the day-to-day activities. Somebody that woke up in the morning and like you woke up around 4 a.m., you pick up a bus, pram, off to work, and around 12, you quickly go to your tailor to take your measurements. By the time you are taking that measurement, and somebody that is relaxed, you want to take the measurement of that same person when the person is relaxed. Like she woke up in the morning and the person is in her house, relaxed, and by the time you take those measurements, there may be little changes of like 0.5 or 1 inch difference from the two measurements. Another thing is the environmental factors. We have number one, like the mood of the person you're taking the measurements for. Like if someone is happy, you're energetic, you are agile, the measurements that you're going to take. And when someone is moody, like you are just like, all your body system is relaxed. By the time you take the measurement while you are relaxed, while you are moody, and when you are agile, there will also be differences in those measurements. Another thing is somebody that is dressing up, like you're putting on your dress is like a jean now, for instance. The person is putting on a jean while taking the measurements, and somebody that is putting on a leggings. Leggings can be so fitted on you. So while taking those measurements on that same person, you discover that there will be little differences, and by the time the person is coming back to try the dress, you just discover that this place is a bit loose, try to fit in, or this place is tight, I need it to be loose. So you need to consider all those factors before you take your measurement. So now we're going to start with the blouse measurement. First, I'm going to take the underbust length. After the underbust length, there are different types of blouses. We have the straight blouse. We have blouses like peplum, whereby you have a cut before the flare, or gathers or pleats or anything you want to add. So after the underbust, you go to the half length. That's if you have, like in the case of a peplum blouse, so you have underbust, you have the half length, and you have the full length of the blouse. But for a straight blouse, it's going to be the underbust and the full length of the blouse. All right. After that, the next thing to take is the shoulder measurement. And the shoulder measurements goes like this, from the shoulder bone here to the other side of the shoulder. That's how you take the shoulder measurement. After taking the shoulder measurement, we move to the sleeve. The sleeve length will be taken from wherever the shoulder stops. Like this is my shoulder measurement. I'm going to bring my tape rule to this edge so I can take the sleeve measurement. Now we have either the short sleeve, the 3/4 sleeve, or the long sleeve. Okay, so after you've taken the sleeve, we get to the round sleeve. So if your sleeve is a short sleeve, you only need the upper arm here, all right, not too tight. So you take the upper arm. And if the sleeve is a 3/4 sleeve, that's a 3/4 sleeve below the elbow, that means you need to take this upper arm and wherever the sleeve is to stop below the elbow. And if yours is a long sleeve, that means you take the upper arm, you take below the elbow, and you also take the wrist measurement. Now the wrist measurement, look at this. This is 7 inches. You can see how it is 7 inches. But if I try to bring out this tape, I'll find it very, very difficult. For that reason, I need to loosen the tape and try. So you must try to bring out your hand, your wrist from the tape, just like this. This is my 7 inches. You see, I can't bring out my hand easily. So I need to check just like this. So that means I'll be going for 9 inches for the wrist round sleeve. Okay, so in the only case where I will have to go with this measurement of 7 is when I'm using a stretch fabric. You know, stretch fabric, once you put your hand, it will expand. So it is only in that case that I will go for the normal round sleeve. Having done that, we move to the bust circumference measurements. So the bust circumference measurement is taken like this, not too fitted. I understand some people like a fitted dress. So the bust circumference like this. After the bust circumference, we go to the underbust circumference, and of course we go to the waist circumference measurement. Now you need to take the across, that's the chest measurement, like from this part to the other side here. And the same way you are taking the chest, you also need to take the across back, just like this. All right, the shoulder measurement is taken this way, the across back is taken like this. Now if your blouse is that of like a padded blouse like what we have on this gorgeous, you also need the bust pan. The bust pan is same as nipple to nipple measurement, and I don't like people coming to take measurements, the bust pan measurements like this. I feel it's not professional enough. You can always take your bust pan like this. For instance, here the bust is 34 inches. Now if I'm going to take my bust pan, this is 27 inches and this is 34 inches. So I'm just going to count from 27 to 34. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. More comfortable for whoever you're taking their measurements, more than you coming to take the measurements in this manner. So that is for the blouse. And for a short gown, the only difference is the length. So all the measurements we've taken here for the blouse will only need to increase the length of our dress. So you take the length of your short dress. So I feel it will be more comfortable that way than taking this the measurements like this. Now the next thing we're going to be taking is the gown measurements, which is the short gown. So for whatever measurements we have taken in the blouse, the only difference in the blouse and the short gown is the length. So that means while taking the length, we have the underbust and the full length. just the underbust and the full length. And if your blouse is going, if your gown is going to have a cut at the half length, that means we'll take underbust, half length, then the full length. We also take the shoulder, the sleeve, round sleeve, just everything that we've done in the blouse measurement. Now we move to the short skirt. For a short skirt, you start the measurement from the waist. You can always ask the person, because some people like placing their skirt on the stomach, while some people place their skirts on the waist. So you need to ask, so it will not affect your measurement. So while having done that, you take the length of your skirt, that's a short skirt first, to wherever you want it to stop, either before the knee, on the knee, or below the knee. After that, you take the waist measurements like this. The waist measurement needs to be fitted, and also you take the hip measurements. Take the hip measurements. So when taking the hip measurement, you try and check if your taper will easily go down and up, so it will be easier for the person to put on the skirts. All right. Okay, I forgot to tell us, in the gown measurement, the short gown, there's also need to take the hip measurement. So while taking the circumference measurement, it's going to be the bust circumference, underbust circumference, the waist circumference, and the hip circumference measurements for the short gown. So that's all for the for the short skirts. And now we move to the long blouse, long gown. For a long gown, the length also is affected. Now we need to pay attention to this. We take the underbust, half length if there is need for half length. Then we take before the knee, that's the knee length. It has to be some inches, like 3 inches above the knee. Then we take the full length of the gown. So the main reason for stopping here is because we need to free our legs while moving, when we want to walk. So you discover that most of our dresses, they are always fitted from the shoulder to this part of our of the knee. Then from here it becomes wide, like in the case of a 6 pieces or a flare and all that. But anytime you are taking a long dress, a straight long dress like this, most of this long dress, it is either you have a slit at the front or at the back. That's going to enable you to walk freely. So in that case, you can just take your measurement straight down. But if you want your skirt to be like a 6 pieces or flare skirt, you need to take before the knee, then you take the full length. Now for a long skirt, you take from the waist, and first you need to stop before the knee before you take the full length of the skirt. Just what I've what I rightly explained, so that this part will be fitted, and from here it becomes wide. Then you can go on with the waist, the waist circumference and the hip circumference measurement. So these are the basic measurements that we need in order to get a perfect measurement taken. So if this is your first time on our channel, kindly click the subscribe button. Click the bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video. If you want me to upload any video soon, leave that in the comment section. Until I see you next class.